Konnichiwa everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all well. Happy Easter as well, wherever you are in the world. You join us in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in the iniBuilds A350-900 Japan Airlines livery here at Tokyo Haneda International Airport. So very warm welcome to all of you. Hope you're all doing very well. We are off to Okinawa today, that MK Studios Okinawa that's been released a little while ago for both sims. Here we are, stand 10 I believe, I can't quite remember, and we are joined by numerous folks from our community. All of our mates loaded up on the stands around us across the airport. We're on the VATSIM network, so good evening to Ian, g'day, MPS Gaming and Banjo, welcome matey, Canadian Flight Sim, good morning to you, Grant, welcome Jay, and Zato, good to see you guys, and everyone else in the live chat, there she is. Usually I tend to pick the 1000 variant, that's my favourite one. We have got GSX fired up, we're boarding at the moment, we've got 111 out of 274 on, but we're fuelled and catered, so we're just getting those bags sorted. We've got a flight time of around 2 hours 30 today ahead of us, and we're flying on kind of live weather but rewinded time, because it turns out you can split the two in this sim. So we're having a little look at that. Jeff, konnichiwa, good evening from Japan in real life, he says. Epic. What part of Japan are you in, mate? Yokohama's where I used to stay years and years ago. Very much would love to revisit Japan. It's superb. Second favourite place in the world after Mauritius. Just absolutely spectacular. Chris Packett, welcome. Captain Wazza, happy Easter. Tracy, welcome. MPS says he's got about 1 hour 10 minutes left for the arrival into Naha. So whilst all this is going, what I've also reinstalled today, because it's been a little while, the Luke Air Tool, lukeairtool.net, that freeware cabin announcements mod. And this livery here is available on flightsim.to. It is linked in the description down below. It's like a UNICEF support livery. Basically, the Japan Airlines livery that I downloaded from the ini manager was causing crash to desktops. So I've had to uninstall that one and then get a community-made one installed instead, which is pretty good. The only sad thing is, if I go into the flight deck, it's ruined Dave's life. He's sad enough. Where we go? Let's see, let's get out of here. Hello, mine outs. We don't have a custom cabin, unfortunately, but hey ho, it is what it is. GSX is getting the troops on, and we've got a load of custom views all set up ready to go for today as well, but that's okay. The Japan Airlines cabin is really stunning in real life. Certainly the Japan Airlines Sky Suite, I think it is a really nice business class cabin. Gifu, epic. Do you live out there then, Jeff? Hula from Fiji, Martin says. Now that's an envious part of the world I'd love to visit. My goodness, how beautiful. Right, into the business end of the jets, and we've kind of gone through most of our cold and start setup already. We've got the doors open there, loaded everything up, and we've already fired up the EFB and got our sim brief flight plan imported. That's in progress. There we go, you can see that there, sim brief import. We've got fuel and loads, and we've already done our takeoff performance as well. Jeff, amazing. Are you fluent in Japanese then? How'd you get by, if not? We go to init. There we go. So we've already loaded our flight plan. I've actually specified a specific alternate of Osaka today, rather than the sim brief generated one, which was I think it was the US Air Base in Okinawa actually, which meant that we were basically loading barely any extra fuel. So what I've done is I've set Osaka in case, so that way we've just got more fuel to get back if we need to. So we have a reasonable diversion back to the mainland, rather than 5 miles from the airfield where the weather's probably just as bad. No passengers in GSX VLM in the 900, but I have noticed in the latest GSX version there is now a cabin profile for the 1000 variant, which is quite cool. Amazing, Jeff. That's fantastic. How did you find learning it? Because I've spent a lot of time trying to learn Japanese in the past. Duolingo, all that kind of stuff, and I found it quite difficult. It is a tricky language, isn't it? What have we got? Departure. Let's get the charts up here as well so you guys can see what we're doing. So, stand 10, I think it is. We'll double check before we push. We'll head north on the push. We'll face north on the push. And 16 right for that departure is what we can expect. Carlito, good morning, mate. And Dwyle, good afternoon. Mafarix is his favourite aircraft of all time. Thanks for flying it. No worries, buddy. So we're going to probably taxi down Whiskey over Bravo 10 to cross 22, and then we probably line up that full length 60 via Alpha 16, or we'll use Alpha 15 actually and have that intersection departure, because we've got a 3,000 metre long runway really, so it's nice and long. So yeah, we'll probably do that instead of the runway crossing. So we'll work down Whiskey, down Juliet, Alpha 15, and then line up. It's probably the easiest thing to do today. Like so, and then on the departure headed south onto the Laxas 4 RNAV departure, over the bay, up to T6R11, and then what we'll do is route southwesterly through Tora, Imola, climbing up through 9,000 at or above, and Imola at or above 150, and then Laxas at or above 170. Cruise altitude today as high as we've ever pushed this A350, and it's going to be flight level 400. But realistically, night ops would be in play here at Tokyo, so preferential runway systems, depending on weather, and noise abatement procedures are very important here, because all of this here is massively populated, and that is the city of Tokyo. So they try and reduce the noise as much as possible, which is why when we fly inbound at night, sometimes you will get, if I just find an example for you folks, Axel to hotel, so that's a daytime arrival, for example, via Kakao, and then the night time it will become the Axel 1 November, which will be the via Nylon for that Axel 1 November arrival, which is the nighttime arrival, from what I understand. So the ends denote the nights here at Tokyo. So you've got daytime and nighttime published arrival and departure procedures, effectively. And lots of stuff to read. So if we look on the taxi charts, for example, prevention of taxiway incursions, temporary NOTAMs, temporary charts, plates, operational restrictions, loads, because there's a lot of building work going on, specific taxi routes, ground control frequency diagrams, because there are different frequencies for different zones of the airport, intermediate holding positions, various things, variable message signs, operation DCL, departure clearance data links, visual guidance docking systems, TSAT operations, and then we've got taxiway restrictions for different types of 748s, A380s, a mandatory chart there for A380 flyers. I think there's one of us flying the A380 today, so you will have to taxi via Whiskey out towards the runway. A340-600s, and then we've got, for us here today, for me in the A350-900, that specific chart there, which is the taxiway restriction chart for A340-500 and A350-9000, and then there's ones for the 777-300ER, 767, 787-8, 787-9 and 10s. Happy information there for 16 left and right, simultaneous parallel approaches. It's a very complicated airport, as you can probably see, but hopefully not too daunting, because the basics are the same, right? Right, let's dive into this. Where are we at? So we've got about 4 minutes to push. So we've already done the departure, the Laxus 4, that's already in there. We've done all this, and the fuel unloading is all complete, giving us a performance calculation, V1 138 141 for the rotate speed, and 142 for V2, flex 67 degrees, and NADP 2 for the departure for the noise brain procedure, plus a transition flying out up and away through 14,000 feet. And that is effectively it. We've already checked that flight plan, and all of that is pretty snazzy. So the left FMS screen will have the performance data, the right one will have our flight plan, and then up in the overhead panel we can go ahead and just get that APU started. Nav logo lights, lights and signs, still on external power, and we've got no other white lights anywhere else currently. We can set this to 17,000 for that initial climb, and we'll pop the constraints on the box. Local QNH 1009er is selected. And we've got our terminal charts ready to go there as well. So we've done the departure. What I'll also do now is bring up OANS or ANF in the A350. Willem, there's no need to apologise, buddy. It's a great question, because I was looking earlier and I'd only noticed the 1000 was actually an option in the GSX Pro from the last update, I believe. So a very good question indeed. Let's get ANF ready to go. There it is. I love that feature. I mean, look how great this is for an office for a pilot, right? Superb. Pushing tech to the max. In literally probably the best looking aeroplane there is in the sky as well. The most precisely detailed and designed aircraft there is. AP bleed can go on. What else have we got? Let's see, that's all good. Comms, radios. We need to actually turn them on. 1228. And we'll get the guard frequency pre-tuned, 1215. I think I've got that remembered correctly. Right, that's all good.
Today the traffic officer 13 X-ray pushing back straight in 58 Haneda.
Prepare for pushback and departure. We're bang on time. Let's get the jetties away. Doors closed and armed.
Tokyo traffic, tonight, work 301.
How are we doing around us? That A380's disappeared. Pause this music and we'll start some of the cabin announcements. Hopefully that's a good volume for you guys. Readability 5. Slides arms. Beacon lights, APU, everything's ready. Gens are on and faulting, that's okay, that's what we want to see. Pull that out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Here comes the tug.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Japan Airlines Flight 10. This is a code-share flight with American Airlines and Malaysian Airlines. Your pilots are Captain Okamoto and
Haneda traffic, Japan Air 901, stand 10, altimeter 2981, push and start, facing north, Haneda.
Today, 10 Japanese cabin attendants and 2 cabin attendants from our Bangkok base and
16 right. Oh, look at that, custom pushback, I'll take it. Left and right is clear, push and starts is received, let's go. Might have to try and find a way to get rid of him. It's not distracting at all, is it? Okay, ignition start, engine 1 on.
We would like to thank you for flying with Japan Airlines, a member of the One World Alliance.
There's the
We hope you will
windwalkers.
enjoy your flight with us. Thank you. 引き続き皆様にご案内申し上げます。ただいまから非常用設備についてご案内いたし
And
ま
let's
す。
start the Japan
皆様
Airlines
どうぞ
safety
必ずご覧
demonstration.
ください。なお、ご質問がございましたら、どうぞ乗務員にお知らせください。
BlueCareTool.net if you
Ladies
do
and
want to give
gentlemen,
this pack
we
a
will
go.
shortly be showing our safety demonstration. Please pay close attention. If you have any questions, please ask the cabin attendant. Thank you.
ご搭乗ありがとうございます。
Welcome on board.
安全について説明しますので必ずご覧ください。
Please watch this safety video and familiarize yourself with the safety instructions.
荷物は近くの収納場所に入れます。
All baggage must be stowed in the nearest storage.
異常口や通路に置くことはできません。
Do not
Engine
place
two on.
baggage in the aisle or around the exits.
シートベルトはしっかりと締めます。
Fasten your seatbelt
It's a shame
securely.
GSX doesn't have them bow at the end.
レバーを上げると外れます。
Lift the buckle to unfasten the seatbelt.
One of the finest cultures in the world. I'm
揺
sure
れに
Jeff would
備
agree.
え常に着用します。
Keep your seatbelt fastened whenever seated in case of sudden turbulence.
機内は通路、化粧室を含め禁煙です。
Smoking is strictly prohibited on this flight.
電波を発する状態の電子機器は使用できません。
Use of any electronic devices that emit radio waves is
Not sure,
prohibited.
Canadian.
電源を切るか機内モードなどに設定します。
Please turn them off or set them to airplane mode.
緊急時は乗務員の指示に従ってください。
In case of emergency, please follow our instructions.
酸素マスクが出てきたら強く引いて鼻と口に当てます。
If oxygen masks appear, pull the mask toward you and place it firmly around your nose and mouth.
ゴムバンドを頭にかけ長さを調節します。
Place the band over your head and adjust.
衝撃に備える姿勢をとります。
In the unlikely event of impact,
I know, Jeff.
take a
Yeah, that would be
protective brace
huge, wouldn't it? It'd be
position.
so good.
救命胴衣は座席下または横にあります。
Canadian
Your
flights to me, yeah,
life
I
vest
think
is
it is, mate,
located
because I had
under
3
or
crash to
beside your
desktops.
seat.
And when I removed the iniManager liveries that I'd had installed, even though they're up to date,
Put the
downloaded
life
ones from
vest over your
flightsim.to
head,
instead that were made by the
fasten
community. It
buckle,
then
and tighten the
worked.
strap.
Let me in.
非常口で引き手を引いて膨らませます。
Pull the tab to inflate the life vest when exiting the aircraft.
膨らみが足りないときはチューブから
Okay,
息を吹き
engines
込みます。
1 and
If necessary,
2.
blow
Mission
into the
mode
tube to
norm.
inflate the life vest.
Ground spoilers on. Park brakes currently set. Rudder
Check the
resets
location of the
0.
emergency
Flaps
exits in
1
front
plus
of
F.
and behind
Working
you.
up. Water brake RTO.
脱出時に荷物は持たないでください。
17 for the
Leave your
departure
baggage when you
sets.
evacuate.
There's the takeoff
荷
memos.
物を持つと通路を塞ぎます。
Carrying baggage will block the
Keep
aisle.
off. Have
荷
like
物やハイ
control
ヒールでスライドが破れ使
Got
えな
the
くなる恐れ
green
があります。
lights. We'll
Baggage
pretend they're all stood over there in a line
will
waving.
damage the slide.
脱出時の正しい姿勢です。両手を伸ばして前傾を意識し必ず着地点を見て滑ります。
When sliding down, stretch
Quickly
forward
do
your
some rudder
arms,
checks.
incline your body forward, and look at
Canadian
the
traffic,
landing
number
point.
13 X-ray, sector
スライド
runway
下での援助をお願いします。
Romeo,
We will
sector
ask you to
Juliet,
assist other
at
passengers
And we'll do,
after
as we
sliding
roll
down.
out, full left.
すぐに飛行機から
Tokyo
離れます。
Haneda traffic
Move quickly
report.
away from the
Back to zero.
aircraft.
Runway 1, entering runway 1.
All the way right and
安全
nearly
な
on.
もご覧ください。
Back to
Please
zero.
review the safety instructions leaflet.
どうぞ
Elevators.
ごゆっくりお過
Tokyo
ごしくだ
traffic
さい。
upgrade. Too heavy.
We wish you a pleasant flight.
Lovely.
After departing Japan Airlines and facing runway 16 right. Main traffic.
Haneda traffic, Japan Air 901, taxi to 0. Apple 15, runway 16 right via Whiskey Juliet. Taxi in on idle. Quick warning refuel and takeoff config. Press and hold for a few seconds and we're green. Japan Airlines now operate the A350-1000 from Haneda to London Heathrow, their flagship aircraft on their effectively one of their flagship routes. Ground speed's 18. I'll let it keep creeping up. Just need cabin secure from the crew. That's still pending.
Haneda traffic 6055 following the Japan Airlines A350 to runway 16 right via Whiskey, Juliet 45.
A350, I can't remember really what the changelog is, buddy, but I'm not on the latest version of the A350. I'm on the one behind, because I find sometimes when they release the updates it can be a little bit problematic for some people, so I tend to go with the ones that I know are stable. Yeah, this is the default Sobo generated Haneda. So it's not precise. Is it Technobrain, that developer? They're in the process of making a ultra realistic version of Haneda. Cabin's now secure, jolly good. And when that comes out, we'll be revisiting this airport because it is one of my favourites in the world. Just going to get my departure charts up. Ready to go.
That traffic on break, taxi to run 16 right.
Clear there, that's all good. This is the whole point Alpha 15. We're going to cut across surveillance. On TCAS, TARA, auto, on, squawking. Good. And taking a wide. The runway starts over there, and actually this is slightly incorrect from an Asobo generation point of view. So if I just show you guys the charts as we hold here a second. You can see here that the threshold is actually there after Alpha 14. But the sim has actually put the threshold right there, part of the displaced threshold area. So it just shows you where the AI generation isn't always particularly accurate. You see there, that's the generated version. You can see it's all kind of cut off and a bit iffy. The threshold should realistically be kind of there where that touchdown marker point is there, just for reference, but that's okay. Lights, signs, cabin secure, lining up. Haneda traffic, Japan Air 901 via Alpha 15, lining up runway 16 right, taking off Laxas for departure. Haneda traffic. I'm going to just come out wide and use as much of this as I can.
Haneda traffic, X05558 after the departing Japan Airlines A350 lining up.
Oh, Zato's in the Vulcan. Zato, you should have told me, mate. I would have got it installed.
5.5.
I will, when we're in the air, mate, I'll try and force you in, because I think I have got the Vulcan installed somewhere.
Haneda traffic, Japan Air 251.
We'll keep her efficient.
16 right by Whiskey Juliet.
So we'll keep her rolling. We're a little bit overzealous of the old thing there. Take off. Flex 67, SRS runway auto thrust green. Power set, speed to life.
Haneda traffic, X-ray 558, lining up runway 16 right.
V1.
Rotates V2. Got the 100 knots call, don't hate me. A little bit of a crosswind. Oh, a heck of a crosswind, look at that. Positive rate, gear up. Airborne. Autopilot 1 engaged. Just let that nose gently come down. Leave a climb. And we're in thrust D rate climb. Accelerating. Flight plan. Speeds checked. Flaps 0. Ground spoilers disarmed. Nose lights off. Haneda traffic, Japan Air 901's airborne through 2,500 feet, final call. And Yokohama off in the distance. Doesn't look as good as a MSFS2020 does. And part of me thinks now, have I got the Japan World Update installed? I thought I would have done. But that all over there should be Tokyo Yokohama, this prefecture. Keep it climbing, so we're through 4, but what we'll do is we'll wind her up to 400, which is our cruise altitude for today. Just quick check of V-Pilot, there's no ATC. Lovely job.
本日も日本航空にご搭乗くださいましてありがとうございます。シカゴ到着までの機内サービスについてご案内いたします。この便では間もなくお食事をお持ちいたします。本日のお食事は牛丼四川スタイルもしくは若鶏の柚子胡椒くわ焼きでございます。数に限りがありご希望に添えない場合もございます。どうぞご了承ください。フライトの半ばにはジェノベーゼ風のポテトパンをお飲み物と一緒にお持ちいたします。客室の中央と後方のドア付近にはスナックやお飲み物などをご用意したスカイオアシスがございます。ぜひお立ち寄りください。また到着前にはエアーモスバーガー、クリームチーズ、照り焼きバーガーをご用意しております。Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for flying with Japan Airlines today.
Oh, you did, Zato. Yeah, you should have pinged me because I didn't see that bit. Oh, man.
We will serve you lunch shortly. The meal choices are soy grease and salted chicken, with accented by yuzu citrus flavored chili paste or gyudon Sichuan style. Please note that there may be cases when we will not be able to accommodate your request due to the loading number of meals. In the middle of the flight, we will be serving basil-flavored stuffed potato stuffed bread with beverages. There will be sky oasis in the middle and the back of the cabin. Please feel free to stop by for snacks and beverages. Also, we'll be serving breakfast like an Amos burger, cream cheese teriyaki.
5440, final call, Haneda.
So, please relax and enjoy. Once again, welcome aboard.
Rocky. Sounds tasty. Right, Arto, I'm going to try and get that livery stuff sorted. If I can, but I'm trying to find... I can't quite find how we did it before, because I'm sure we've done it before. Ah, there we go, that's why. Type code CNBR, is that what you've gone in as ICO code? Right, good. Okay, I'm going to try and reforce you in, Zato. There we go. Okay, I've got you in, mate. You're in the Vulcan, so we should see you now when we get to Naha. My apologies. Okay, so let's get landing lights off, seatbelt signs off. Probably been penalised there. And we should, if we're lucky, though it is a bit cloudy, we should get a rather superb view of Mount Fuji, though maybe we're not going to see it today. Oh, Fuji-san. It's going to be right in that cloud over there, isn't it? If I've set the time quite right, when we get nearer to Okinawa, we should start to get sunset as well. But we have got live time on as the taxi camera view that I set a little while ago. So it sounds like the PMTG team are pretty much nearly ready for the release of their new 777-200 ER. It sounds like it's going to be released in time for Cross the Pond as well. Although nothing is set in stone nor confirmed by the PMTG team, but it certainly seems that that's kind of what they're starting to target now. It all sounds pretty ready, doesn't it? That's going to be very exciting. So the next aircraft we fly is most likely going to be that 777-200 ER aircraft in MSFS2024. I have got the 727 passenger version, but for some reason it won't install via Contrail on MSFS2024, so I'm not sure how compatible it is And those of you who watch regularly and chat in our Discord server, you know that I've now completely uninstalled MSFS2020. It basically wiped most of the files itself. Yesterday I went in and just uninstalled the remainder. So Fuji should be over here-ish. We'll keep an eye in case we see her out of the window. Superb views when you do. Interesting. Oh, it's 11.3. Righto. Slight discrepancy there. Oh. Where's that? That's going to be, we're completely abeam. That might be Mount Ashitaka. But actually no, because here is Suruga Bay. So here she is, Mount Fuji. Well, hi Tony, hello. No, not Sim Update Beta 2, buddy. I tend to avoid those as much as I can. I've told this story loads of times before. When we used to stay in the Yokohama Royal Park Hotel, when we stayed en route on the Haneda flights, so I used to bid for those all the time. I'd always hope that I got the windows that overlooked Mount Fuji off in the distance, so you'd catch it in the morning. Sometimes, well most of the time, you'd wake up at the top of the hotel in the cloud, and you could sit on like a big balcony ledge thing inside the room, and you'd just sit there with a cup of tea, and you'd watch the sort of cloud rise above your window as the sun kind of burnt through it, and then if the weather was good it would reveal Mount Fuji in the distance behind. Tom, well, given up on the 7.3 have we? He says, no, I massively miss it. Problem is, I don't have MSFS2020 anymore, and the 737-800 isn't officially compatible with 2024, so I can't use it, which is a real shame. So I have to wait for PMTG to actually make it compatible again. And it's more so, I know some people have said it does work with Sim Update 1 in 2024, but it's more so out of respect for the developers actually very specifically asking for people not to use it / showcase it in the new Sim. I didn't decide to fully convert, no. The last update, weirdly, I don't know really what happened, but the last update seemed to have signed myself up even though I never clicked for it to do so, it signed me up to the beta and then deleted all of the contents of my simulator files. So then when I went to click it, I noticed the tile had disappeared from my taskbar. I thought, that's odd. Clicked it and it instantly went into kind of the update/install screen. And it turns out it deleted everything. All my community folder had gone. Some of the files were still kind of lingering about, which was the weird thing about it. It still thought it was installed, even though it had pretty much wiped itself. And then I just thought, you know what? I'm not going through that again. What an absolute nightmare. So I just I uninstalled the rest of the files yesterday just to get rid of it. Just thought there's no point now, especially when we've got 777 from PMTG coming imminently to MSFS2024. I just figured, you know what? Now's the time anyway. Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's not working. I didn't know that much, but yeah, that's definitely not a way to do it. Crikey. Yeah, it was a bit frustrating because it meant that I was effectively forced to transition completely to 2024, and I wasn't really ready to do that because I still quite enjoyed 2020 and I still wanted to make use of add-ons like you were saying, Tom, the 737-800 for example, or the 777-300ER, all of those aeroplanes that I now really miss, and it shows you how good the PMGG lineup is because now I don't have them, so it's yeah, a bit of a problematic. QBD, that might be a bit problematic though, because the 777 freighter is a 200LR, but they've got wings from the 777-300, and I think the engine output is different as well for the GE90s. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, huge in Australia and Japan as well, to be fair. You know, All Nippon Airways operating the 737-800s on this route that we're doing today, in fact. And then you've got Peach flying A320s. Japan Air, I think. Japan Airlines use the 737-800 on some of these domestic routes. Standard. Pressure is good. That's all off and set. This nice D-rate climb is just going to smoothly take us up to our cruising altitude of flight level 400. I've set a cost index of 100 today. Although it wanted me to use a cost index of 160, which is wild. Peter, welcome buddy. Happy Easter to you too. I'm having an Easter egg for lunch, for what it's worth. And then I'm probably firing up a barbecue. I've got a brand new barbecue that I bought the other day, because my old one was just really past its time. It was kind of rusty from all the couple of winters, through the winter and all the moisture. It basically started to kind of, it was almost a science experiment. It had grown all sorts of mould from God knows what that was in the barbecue still, because that enamelled coating had just kind of started to rot away. So then moisture gets into it, and then with the grease that was still left, even though I'd cleaned it all at the end of summer, it, you know, somehow managed to find a way to take hold. So the whole thing was furry. I had to take it to the tip. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have a barbecue. So we've gone and bought one from Costco of all places. I've ended up getting a Costco membership. But it's got me a mega deal on this barbecue. Master built it is. It's bloody stunning, it is. But I have had an expensive few days, as Ashley knows. Met Ashley at Vista Village the other day by chance. We just ended up at the same place at the same time by pure luck. So it was Very nice to meet him. Put a face to a name. Say hello momentarily. I forgot how intensely busy Vista Village was as well. Quite a bit of turbulence here. Look at that headwind. 270 at 75. You can see there, if you just scan that horizon, well, it's not going to do it now that I'm pointing it out, is it? There you go. You can see it bobbing about a little bit. And I've always been told if you feel it in the front, it's really bad at the back, 'cause it just starts slipping about. Paul, yeah, you know what? I love the iniBuilds A350. It is expensive, sure. It is expensive. I think it's superb. I think what they've done is a really nice job of it, and it does have some problems. It does have, you know, if you go to the main menu, you'll then crash to desktop, which is wholly annoying, and it's something that the A300 does as well. They've not really solved, but little things like the wing flex, right? Look at that. And in fact, I haven't tested this. While we're here, though, I wonder if I've got a camera view that does it. Yes, right. Crikey, look at that. You know what I've just noticed though? That's what I was looking for. Flaperons. An aileron activation. Because this aircraft is so advanced, it can actually work to stabilise some of the turbulence. I can't see any deflections here of it working through it, so maybe that's not simulated. But otherwise, it does everything you want it to. It is just really quite a cool aeroplane to fly. Looks amazing, sounds fantastic, loads of liveries, the ability to get awesome custom cabins. Can fly long haul, short haul, medium haul, the whole thing. And you get the 900 and the 1000 included as a package. So I think, yes, it is expensive, but the iniBuilds A350, I've been critical of some of their other products, but this one is superb. It is really good. I personally enjoy it. And they keep updating it, which is nice. It's still got, I mean, yeah, in the last month there have been 2 updates, I believe. Maybe 3 updates. I'd have to double check. There's been a few updates to the A350, so there's this continuous improvement going on with it as well, which is very nice to see as well. Pete's bought a new cover for his Barbie, 40 quid, very nice. Lolo, what do you have to do to have your game not lag? To be fair, I don't tend to get much lag, matey, because I've got an RTX 4090, I've got a very powerful computer. So I don't really get too much. Oh, Tom, crikey. What RAM have you got though? Because you might have an RTX 4080 Super, but your VRAM and your RAM might not have very much headroom, if that makes sense. Jack, hello matey, good afternoon, hope you're well. Jack, by the way folks, did that Infinity Simwings experience the other week. The one that I did some videos on. We've got those exclusive discount codes for down at London Gatwick Airport. Had an amazing time by the sounds of it as well. So glad you had a load of fun, Jack. I told you you'd enjoy it. I know you were a bit worried beforehand, weren't you, going into it? Tom, to give you a little idea here, I've got 64 gig of DDR5 RAM, and I'm using 47% of that. But my RTX 4090 is 24 gig of VRAM, and I'm using 67% of that in 2024. So you might find that your stock 16 gig of VRAM on your graphics card that you've got, your 4080, whoever's made it, might not be enough. But just have a little look at your VRAM figures and your performance and things. If I do this, I don't know if this is going to display for you guys. No, it's not. Ah, poop. Oh well, I tried. was trying to show the Xbox game overlay thing, which showed all the performance data and a few other bits, but it's not coming up because it's an overlay. Tom, I just press Windows G and it will give you like an Xbox game bar thing. Good to hear, Jack. If anyone else is interested still, we are running those codes still, so you've got a chance to go and book infinitysimwings.com with those codes, whatever membership tier you're on. But naturally, they are expensive packages. Here's a question for you folks. Who's ever part exchanged a car, or bought a new car, and then part exchanged your old one for a specific value, but then whilst waiting for the car to be delivered, you then have a service that's due within literally a week of delivery of the new car? Because I'm in that situation now, and I'm not bothering with actually going to get the car serviced because it will cost £200-300. Are they going to take that off my value of my Part X? They probably will, won't they? Tom, I'm not sure. I think that's going to come down to things like level of detail, object level of detail, terrain level of detail, those settings. I might be wrong. Someone else in the chat might know a bit better of how to kind of make your VRAM more efficient. So if you do know, please let us know, because I'm a bit of a noob with all that kind of stuff. Right, stabilising in the late part of our climb, the latter bit of our climb. Let's have a look at Volanta. I'll put those screenshots on for now. Oh, ruddy hell, there's a sucker control online. Of course there is. We've got MPS. He's all the way up there ahead in the 777-300, flying our heritage jet. There's beautiful Mount Fuji and his departure from Haneda. Right up ahead, we've got Bancha as well in the A380, flying in Bertha. We've not flown her for a little while either. That'll be one of the next on the list of things to do. I love flying that thing. It's superb. Bit of work from the Flabberwire Simulations team. Then we've got myself, followed by Zato in his Avro Vulcan. Very cool. Ashley in, oh yes, the Pokemon jet. The Eevee jet from ANA. I've seen that in the flesh at Heathrow. It's phenomenally good. That's what I look forward to flying next. The PNG 777s. And Yosuke in Japan Airlines. First we got Osprey 2472 Ian, flying lifetime live weather by the looks of it. It is quite late in Japan at the moment. Look at that. Stunning. Get a Hawk Osprey 13 X-Ray. He's in the Airbus A321. Nice little Cure jets. I love that screenshot. Doing a walk around, taking the knee, a little selfie. Superb. And then we've got Don Colito, Osprey 784, flying along as well. Live weather as well. Who else have we got? I think that might be all of us. Just double checking. couple of people starting to spawn in at Haneda now. Our routing there is going to take us out over the water. We'll be heading up over Kagoshima as we descend down into Naha. And you've got Rodina Kadena Air Base. That's where it wanted me to divert to on SimBrief, if it all went a bit crazy. I think that's one of the massive US Air Force bases, isn't it, Kadena? And that'll be on our left hand side as we make our approach. Crikey, look at that. Shanghai controllers online over there. And is that Miyazaki Tower? Random. Jack, no. They wanted a screenshot, like a photograph of the dashboard, and obviously it didn't pop up with anything at the time. And now my car's doing like a countdown of service due in 11 days and all that kind of stuff. So I've taken a photograph for proof that it has started the countdown. I've told them that Kia can't fit me in until basically the end of May for a service, at which point I would have given the car in anyway already. So yeah. Maze Taste says, are you part Xing with the same dealer you're buying from? No. It's a bit of a complicated one, but basically it's a direct manufacture order. They are telling Toyota Gemka in Reading to deal with me as a customer on Toyota UK's behalf, and then a trader is going to meet us there as well, and they're going to pay the part. It's all a bit complicated, but yeah, it makes sense if you know kind of the details of it. But yeah, it's very good. It's a bit of a special deal. I've got what was it? Something like £7,500 or £8,000 off the list price with a special discount that I get. We do need a good payware 747-400 for the Sim QD man. Yes, bring that Queen of the Skies back to life. But for now, we've got one of the best looking aeroplanes in the skies to enjoy. And one of the world's 5-star airline liveries to enjoy it with as well, for what it's worth. I'm determined to do a flight in Japan Airlines one day. And if I could do that flagship route from Heathrow, I'll be well happy. Might do that maybe next year or the year after, I don't know. I need to blow my Avios balance because it's growing and growing and growing all the time, and I've not been able to use my companion vouchers for British Airways for many years now, which is rather upsetting. What have I been on? What was it on actually at the moment? Let's have a little look. Kim Demon, yeah, so in my last job I worked for British Airways years ago, and I used to go to Japan once every, probably on average once every 2 weeks, to be fair. 550,000 Avios points. So I need to try and sort all of that out and actually use them for once. But I think BA have now, in fact, they have, haven't they? It's 1st of April we came in. They've changed the executive club to the British Airways Club. And they've basically redesigned the entire thing. Still the same tiers, bronze, silver, gold. And they're going to reward based on spend rather than distance travelled. So now you get 1 tier point for every £1 you spend on British Airways flights, minus non-airline fees and taxes. You'll still earn tier points with our partner airlines, and you can earn more tier points by paying for extras, contributing to sustainable aviation fuels, no thanks, booking with British Airways holidays, which I often do, and using your British Airways American Express Premium Plus card applies to UK customers only. Plus there'll be a bonus offers to boost your tier points. For example, this year you can have up to an extra 550 tier points per flight. I'm not flying anywhere this year, how sad. That's almost impossible though. Examples on how you can progress through the tiers from the 1st of April. For bronze, now, a return to Geneva in Euro Traveller, plus a return to Singapore in World Traveller Plus, plus a 7-day British Airways holiday package to Tenerife in Euro Traveller. That's well expensive. So basically, less and less people will get bronze, less and less people will get silver, and barely anybody will get gold. So for silver now, you need to do the equivalent of return to Geneva in Euro Traveller, plus a return to Singapore in World Traveller Plus, plus a 7-day British Airways holiday package to Barbados in World Traveller, plus a return to New York in business class, plus a contribution to sustainable aviation fuel. I'm never achieving that. I'm not even looking at gold, my goodness. 5 business class return flights to Cape Town, or 6 return flights to New York in business class, plus a 7-day British Airways holiday package to Barbados in World Traveller, or 13 return trips to Geneva in European business class, plus 3 return trips to New York in business, plus a 7-day British Airways holidays package to Marbella in Euro Traveller. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? They've made that a lot harder to achieve. But in a way, and in fairness, there are far too many people using the lounges, and there are far too many people achieving quote status when it's supposed to be a bit of an exclusive elite sort of thing. Certainly gold frequent flyers, for example, for their membership tiers, it's meant to be super exclusive, so they've made that nearly impossible to achieve. And for the travellers that are going to achieve that, that's great, because it is actually now a much more exclusive niche kind of part of the British Airways club to be part of. So what they're trying to do, what people have forgotten, is they're trying to make it more premium. But it has impacted most of their customers negatively, which is kind of probably counterintuitive. But I have basically worked out that if I could blow my entire Avios balance on business class flights to Japan and back, for example, then I will be able to effectively clear that entire Avios balance out and then cancel my American Express card. So I'm not tied to just collecting Avios on all my purchases anymore. I can just forget about that, and then I can just look around and go, right, who do I want to fly with the most? Yeah, Virgin's cheaper, which is very rare, and I can fly with Virgin. To be fair, BA tend to be most competitive on most packages and flights, and their holiday packages are excellent. Now, a couple of discounts on BA shareholders would be nice as well, because I've got quite a few shares in British Airways over the years. I've accrued 7,900 shares. Carlito, no worries, buddy. Model matching showed the A339 as A332. Can you look before arrival? Let's see. I would look before arrival, but you're too far away, so I can't see you on my list. Let's see. Oh, I know why. Osprey 784. Was it a plain white one, Carlito, that it showed as? Yeah, it may say so. I can quite imagine, matey, that would be very frustrating for you. Well, actually, you know what? I don't think I've got the Headwind A330 installed in MSFS2024. Let me just check. Where would I check? No, I don't have it installed, Carlito, that's why. And I don't think we've got an FSLTL livery installed either. So yeah, I can't make it happen. That's why you've appeared as something random, mate. I literally can't generate it because I don't have it installed. That's the thing with MSFS 2024. I'm still adding stuff all the time. I could maybe try and force you into... Does anyone know what the latest FSLTL liveries for Osprey were in that big update? I could force you into something else, mate. Maybe. Does that work? I've got to try and find the packages though. Folder. FSLTL base. What we got? A320s, 21s, 19s, 20s, Neos. Going through the list now, mate. A330-200s. Oh yeah, so you should have appeared as an A330-200 with Osprey, Carlito, because that is in there. So that's probably as close as we can get, right? FSLTL doesn't have A330-900s yet, but it's got A350-900s. But I could turn you into the FSLTL A350-900 instead, Carlito, potentially. Which would you prefer? No worries, Carlito, yep. You know, it's been a while since I last streamed because it's a my headset's giving me like a headache, like one of those pressure headaches from the headband squeezing up on my head. Sorry if there's clicking, I'm just trying to organise, sort it out, make it a bit more comfortable. In what way, Jack? super weird. Let me just check the connection settings. Just try and load that tip page up yourself. It's working for me. It's greyed out, but I can type. If that makes sense. Yeah, weird. I think they've redesigned the page. That looks very confusing though. I see what you mean. Unless it's working for me. Because I generated it, if that makes sense. I don't know how else I'd check that. Let's see, British tips. Yeah, they've redesigned the page, haven't they? So it looks like it's quite different. Ian says, I really don't like the nav lights and the strobes in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but I think I read they're looking at fixing it in update 3. You can hardly see them during the day as well. It is a bit of an ongoing issue, certainly in some of the aeroplanes. Ashley says a good stiff crosswind landing coming for us, landing at runway 36 left with that Meta badger there in the live chat. So what have we got? 320 at 10. Not as low visibility as the flight you did the other day, Ashley, though. Which I was, a little bit of me was hoping for. True, Ashley, it is Japan. Let's have a look at the TAF. See what we've got for the forecast. So we've got what, an hour and a half-ish left? Okay, pretty decent forecast then. Oh no, there you go. Free clouds at 500 feet, broken at 800. So a little bit of decreased visibility, but that's 15 to 2100Z. So we might get a little bit of low cloud on final approach. Because 15Z is, well, now actually, isn't it? So through to midnight. And those winds shifting later on, but that won't impact us that much by the looks of it. Laxal, let's do a quick fuel check. How we got? Fuel. 2100. $19.1, so we're basically 1 ton of fuel on over our kind of limit, or over our estimated fuel on board. So we can go on performance. Runway. Compute. Actually, I need to change that figure, don't I? So we need to click the cursor right there. We go. Oops, 3.9. Compute. There's a little change there, but that's fine. Basically no difference. 5 messages. Where's the message thing? On the FMS, it has an EFOB tab you can click on for fuel checks. It's under the Speed Alt tab on the flight plan page. Amazing! Ian, that's blown my mind. Look at that. Oh, that's a game changer, isn't it? That's superb. So it's up ROAH 14.8. Estimated fuel on arrival. That's superb. What's the other one? Speed and altitude. So actually in cruise you can just flick over to EFOB. That's an amazing feature. MPS good, how's the weather, buddy? Hopefully it's alright. Just trying to sort out an issue with the Streamlabs thing. I don't know how to solve that, Jack. Anyway, we tried. Sorry folks, I'm back. Pilot says over 16 is running Naha to Kagoshima. It did, Jack, it did. Don't worry about it, mate. It's a pain in the arse sometimes. It's probably because we've not streamed for a few days, so it's probably just blocked itself out or something. Oh, MPS, that's a close one, buddy. 9.9. What was the point deduction for? David, good afternoon. Anyone got across the pond slot into Vancouver next week? It's a good question. Anyone got a slot for across the pond in general next week? I was in the lottery and got the 18th, in the evening of the 18th for a slot, but by the time I logged on all the slots had been taken, so there were no slots to book, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. There's that Cal 936 departed Naha a little while ago. That's not you, is it, multi-pilot? Cal 936. ETP's coming up. Ah, JGP 1427. Oh, okay, that would have been cool though if you were. Luke, welcome. A350, amazing aeroplane. Sure is, buddy. We're bang on the halfway point now. Ian says, quick question, is there any merch that's available closer to us on the other side of the planet? The postage cost seemed a bit high the last time I checked for some items with fourth wall. It's a bit of a... In fact, it's a good question, mate. Hold on, let me... let me have a little look, because I've now been invited to join Amazon Merch on Demand, which is quite different. But basically it means I should be able to then begin offering merchandise via Amazon, so it would be basically printed, handled and fulfilled by Amazon directly instead of anyone else. I'm just logging in to see how that works. 437 and basically it will mean that I might be able to offer something a bit more globally, but I'm not sure because there's a bit of a setup required of it. But it might be that I can set something like that up instead, and then it will mean that we can figure all of that out instead. And then it would be things like, if you've got Prime, for example, it will mean that it will be able to kind of go into that a bit better, if that makes sense. But that'd be something I probably have to fiddle around with over the road, a lot after the stream, because it's there's a bit of setup required, I think. Oh, that autosave completed is a new feature as well, isn't it? From the A350, but interestingly it doesn't seem to do any stutters. I think we're catching up with the big old bertha above us as well. I'll leave that little merch by Amazon tab up as well, Ian, because you reminded me actually, because it popped up as an email the other day with that Amazon kind of creator account thing, so like the affiliate links and all that sort of thing. But then they've gone, actually, if you offer merchandise, join us at Amazon merch by Amazon or something like that. I think it's a new thing that they've started. I'm not sure, but I'm going to explore it a little bit more because it might mean that it's a little bit better. What part it says, what's the name of the song? D-Y-E-O, somewhat elegant, apparently. Christopher, welcome! I put it on auto. And auto. There you go. How's that? Lucid, welcome. Any tips on finding parking for GA business aviation at airports? I often struggle finding one on the charts, especially at major airports. Blu-ray, hello. Good afternoon, Boeing 777 and 787 fan. I'm not sure what... usually you just have to... If I just bring up the charts here, you just have to have a look at the charts, mate, I think. This one would need to be the ground charts or parking spots. You'd have to look around. I should have picked an easier airport. Crikey. Sometimes you'll see, like where it says cargo, you might spot an area that says GA apron, or what's the name for business park? Like FBO. You might spot FBO base. So actually, if I go to, hold on, EGCC, because I know this has one. Right, so we've got all of the aeroplane stands here. Look for the main terminals, Lucid, right? And then you've got down here, business aviation apron. The little arrow, so it shows you there just off Alpha. So that's where you can park. And then light aircraft area romper is another one, for example. So it all depends on the airport, but you'd have to like kind of review all the charts for that as well. For what it's worth. We're going to be expecting the ILS Zulu runway 36 left into Naha today. 7 knot headwind, 7 knot crosswind expected, roughly, and it's going to be transition Cypher. David says in the US and Canada you'll often see signature on a ground chart. They're a massive FBO, so good chance that's the GA area. Let me find one. Let's look at YVR. Taxi view, Apron 6, South Terminal. So what have we got here? This is Vancouver. None on that bit. So you got London Air Services there. FedEx. Environmental closure. It's going to be south area then, isn't it? So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be this bit. So there, that is your general aviation / private jet stuff in Vancouver. Although it doesn't really show it, does it? Yeah, it's difficult, it's not on the chart. It's sods all, isn't it? Oh, I've just unloaded my flight as well. Chuffing neck. The panic! Right, where are we? Let me just reset that and then I'll go and try and find another example Lucid for you. What have we got? Let's go to... No, San Francisco. Nope. Well, I can't help you. Basically, anywhere where there's not passenger terminal. That's effectively what you should be looking for. Let's start thinking about the arrival. So what have we got here? We want the Ihaya South arrival. Cipher transition, ILS Zulu 36 left. So we can have a look here, all the way down the arrival procedures. Entok North, Entok South, Ihaya North, which is that one. That's coming in for like the 16, the kind of the south facing of runways. Can't remember the precise numbers, but we want the Ihaya South, which is going to have us route from Ihaya there, working down through Hassa. We'll have Kadena to the north, basically the right hand side of the aircraft as we go in. Routing down the other side of Naha, and actually we've not approached from this way before, so I'm looking forward to that. And then from Cipher we will have approach ILS Zulu 36 left. In. Gonna be that one. So Cipher running in 273 degrees and then turning in from Bliss at 2,000 feet. That ILS approach. And then airports briefing. We want airport info. Pin that. And parking spots. Like so. And then I can go to the pins tab. I can unpin the RJTT charts. We just have Naha left. And it looks like the flight yesterday parked at stand 22. So that's where I'll aim to park. And that's going to be there. Off the Mike 1 stop point. Charlie 2 taxiway. So landing 36 left, off at Tango 3, Charlie, Juliet 1, cross at Whiskey 3 for 36 right, Echo 4 Charlie, and then Charlie 2 to park. It's quite an easy parking actually, quite a nice little way in that. Alrighty, so that's all ready. How's the puppy doing? Brian's asking. Pretty good. She's got her surgery in like a month, 5 weeks from now, I think. 5 weeks. But she's almost kind of the other side of her first heat cycle, which has been a bit interesting. It's been a bit of a learning curve for us, to be fair. But not as messy as we thought it would have been, in fairness. She's done very well. From next Sunday we'll be able to take her to dog training again, which will be good for her. She'll be able to get her to those dog training, get her mind kind of working again, learn some extra new things, maybe brush up on the bits we might have got sloppy at as well when we've been training her. We'll see how we go, but yeah, she's doing very, very well, thanks. We built a new crate yesterday, so she's got a nice big crate that's been created for her. 36 left, Carlito. Oh, you know what? She still eats all of them. It's so frustrating. MPS Gaming. And Daddy Longlegs now as well. We've got loads of Daddy Longlegs that have appeared in the garden. And she just runs around trying to eat those as well. The other day she literally grabbed a hornet. A hornet was flying past her. And she's a monster. I don't know how, but she managed to bop this hornet out of the sky. And while it was lying on the grass on its back, trying to get up and trying to sting her, she was just booping it, playing with it with her nose. So the hornet cut, and I was like, what's she got? And I couldn't work it out, and then I saw this huge hornet, and I legged it out, grabbed hold of her, and just ran into the house with her, shut the door. And I thought, right, she's gonna get stung. Every bee, every fly, doesn't matter what it is, if it goes bzzz past her, she's jumping, trying to get at it. And to be fair, it's like she sees it in slow motion. She's got like an almost 100% hit rate on killing these things. It's really bad. But that's a phase that she's going through now. That and trying to eat compost, of all things. She likes eating compost. Jack, it's up to you, mate. Some companies allow you to do it. Some pilots like to use manual brakes. Some companies require an auto brake setting to be set, so that there's a fallback. But I tend to do like auto brake low and then just revert to manual brakes when I want to. But it's effectively down to you as a pilot flying. Fan, yes, the 777 can dual start with the Rolls-Royce with the auto start system. Right, let's make your ears bleed. Level that off. Ah, such a superb aeroplane. MSFS2020 MPS or 2024. That's what Ian means about the nav lights. I mean, that's the thing, they're on, right? I'll just go into here. Look, nav system 1. Literally no lights. In fact, no strobes either. Oh, there you are. I mean, that's poor, isn't it? Literally can't see them flashing. It's a bit of a shame that needs to be fixed. That's one of the flaws with this. Ooh, that was a weird moment. Same with that rear strobe. Can't see it doing anything. David, good. Let's hope. You just realise this is the one with the extra big winglets, isn't it? The kind of blended wings, like the extra long ones, though. Jeff, yeah. It's a DJI Mavic 3 drone. There we go, that's doing some weird stuff. The Lancer's doing very weird stuff. Showing people like a million miles ahead. I know you can crank this thing up to Mach 8.9 if you wanted to. Really far up the engines. Right, let's get the arrival procedure put in. What do we got? We got flight plan. ROAH. 36 left. ILS Zulu 36 left via Cypher Star Here South. And then I'll just reset that bar because it wiped. Temporary flight plan. You can scroll down and have a little look. Insert temporary. Just sorting out our reroute. Missed approach and our top descent recalculations. Push that further away. Happy days. When do you mean? Suddenly start getting a right old coughing fit going on. Blu-ray, when you mean you're having problems with the A350 sinking, what do you mean? Or not sinking, do you mean kind of descending, or? Because you need to set an altitude and then push it in to go into managed descent before you reach top of descent. Has anyone worked out how to put a fix in? Ian's asking. You go to flight plan info, fix info, and then you can put some bits in. Let's demonstrate. What have we got here? Let's try IOW, see what it does. See if we are allowed to kind of put in the arrival radius. I don't know, let's see. This is at 8, so let's put 8 in. What the? Maybe I won't put that one in. I'll try 36 left. ROAH 36 left. Let's try that. Hey! My goodness, Jack!
Parsons donated £500.
That's a massive tip, matey. Thank you very much. That's supremely generous. Gee whiz. Thank you very much for the support, Jack. That's huge. Whoa, indeed. That does work, Jack, now, yeah. Christ. Okay, and the fixed ring works there as well. So that's how you do the fixed ring, Ian. So, airport identifier plus the runway. Good lord indeed, Jeff. My goodness. Yeah, Jack, thank you very much. That's incredibly generous of you. My goodness. And then we can put a 003 in for a radial. So we kind of do that extended centre line, if that makes sense as well. You could do that. And if you want to go the other way and have an extended centre line the opposite direction, put the opposite course in, so 182. And then ROAH 36 left. Fix 2. Oops. ROAH 36 left. And we can pop in, I don't know, 4 DME for a fixed ring there. So we have an 8 mile and a 4 mile fixed ring. We'll see that a little later on. To be fair, Jack, it was still a bit of a surprise because I didn't expect it to work, mate. So that's incredibly generous. Appreciate it as always. That's probably just paid for the depreciation of my car that I'm part-exing as well. So that's very, yeah, very, very much appreciated, mate. And I'm glad you enjoyed that Infinity Simwings flight as well down at Gatwick. Quite a cool experience, very unique. It did actually, yeah. My goodness. There was a different cabin chime as well. It was a different, like, weird bing bong noise that kind of didn't. I don't know where that's come from, but it must have changed the tune of it somehow. The new sim is getting better, Boeing 777 fam. Yeah, and you're right there. PMTG have said that in the forum post last week, I think it was, that MSFS2024 is going to be the only simulator that the PMDG 747 product is going to release on. So it's just something to bear in mind there. And hopefully this week we're going to get the PMDG 777 200ER. That would be huge, obviously, when it does arrive. And I've already got, thanks to Ashley, a route ready to go for that day. Or for the stream, whenever that might be. And I've filled out, good news is I've filled out most of the complicated merch by Amazon setup as well, so I don't really know how it works, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. Right, there we go. Our average review time for merch by Amazon is 14 days. Crikey. There you go. Anyway, that's all sent off, Ian. So when we find out, we will know one way or another at least anyway. It's had another update today actually, Ashley, Athens. Jeff, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because Narita was a great airport in itself anyway, but the problem it's had is there's been for many, many years, hasn't there? Most people don't think will appreciate. There's been kind of controversy around Narita being built on and expanded on the top of an ancient burial ground, and some people in Japan, or some groups in Japan, have never really kind of allowed that to go unnoticed or without, by means of protest or whatever it might be. But it's also a lot further out from the city. So if we look at Valanta, just as an example here, Haneda is so well positioned in Tokyo Bay. Yokohama, kind of one of the main business districts, is only a few minutes away by a kind of train, that kind of thing. You've got main Tokyo City right at the heart, not too far away either. But if you're going from Narita, you're looking at like 2 hours by car all the way out here. And it's very well connected. A lot of the main roads and things are designed to connect to Narita, but Haneda now is just such a superb position for the entirety of Tokyo. And if I put this on satellite mode, you can see how well connected it is, right? So Yokohama down here, Kawasaki, you've got various other prefectures all the way through Tokyo, which is this entire area here. Narita's off over in the corner. So it just ticks all of the boxes, doesn't it? From an airport location point of view. Jeff, I can still remember taxiing by a sign just off airport property that said "Down with Narita Airport" just some years ago. I'm going to Google actually. Narita Airport controversy. Burial ground. There's also that tiny little farm, isn't there, in the middle of Narita that the farmer refused to sell the land many, many years ago. Sanrizuka. It was once the site of a titanic civil struggle that pitted thousands of armed activists and farmers against the state. A series of civil conflicts and riots involving the Japanese government and the agricultural community of Sanrizuka, compromising organised opposition by farmers, local residents and leftist groups to the construction of Tokyo Narita International Airport, which was then known as the New Tokyo International Airport. Struggle stemmed from the government's decision to construct the airport in Sanrizuka without the involvement or consent of most area's residents. At its height, the Union mobilised 17,500 people for a general rally, while thousands of riot police were brought in on several occasions. It's been farmland in the Chiba prefecture since circa 700 AD, when the emperor ordered the creation of horse and cattle pastures there. The Shimosa Plateau, which covers most of the northern part of the prefecture, had been active in agriculture for centuries. In the early 20th century, locals became familiar with the imperial family, who frequently came to visit their stables. It was emotionally, the Goryeo farm was emotionally and economically indispensable to locals, with some saying it contributed to local opposition to the airport. The land was cultivated by former lower-class samurai, servants of samurai families, and the others who lost their livelihoods to the Meiji Restoration, which was in 1868. In 1946, the Japanese defeat World War II. Large tracts of imperial-owned land were again sold off. Various disadvantaged peoples who settled the land were collectively called the New Poor. Wow. I thought there was an element of like some sort of ancient burial ground involved. I'm sure I got told about that years ago. I'm really kind of googling around looking for the answer there. Maybe I should look at that other, where has it gone? Meiji Restoration. The Honourable Restoration, as it was referred to at the time. It was a political event that restored imperial rule to Japan in 1868 under Emperor Meiji. Oh, so that roughly that around then, that was when there was this massive resistance. Jeepers, that's a minefield and a half of history. Kind of, you end up sucking down into kind of a world of like a rabbit hole there of history. There, it's pretty cool. Mikhail, welcome. Just had a crash to desktop in the A350-1000 when trying to change my arrival runway. Oh dear, that's not good. Was it kind of the second change, or...? Blu-ray, ja, ich fliege mit New Sky and Osprey Airways. Jeff, did you know that the runway 10 at Savannah International has 2 marked graves actually embedded in the runway surface? Savannah. Is that in Japan? Oh no, Savannah GA. I'm looking on a satellite view now. Where is it? Where would it be? That's absolutely wild. I'm looking for like a random kind of set of burial stones now in the satellite image. Surely not in the touchdown zone. That'd be wild. Is it on top of descent marker? Oh, ONC. Oh yeah, it's kind of obscure, that's why I couldn't see it. Alrighty. Prius! Ah. It's a special. Check destination data. Right, so performance, destination. Let's have a little look then. Let's run the data. Meta ROAH. Pop that in the live chat for you guys to watch. We'll look at. Mikhail, if it's a crashed desktop, mate, it should just disappear itself. What do we got here then? Right, mag winds. 330 at 10. Outside air temperature, a rather nice 22 degrees Celsius. QNH, we'll go for 2988 in the altimeter. 2988. Let's go for 1011 then. And then minimums. What do we got here? 214 on the Barrow. We'll just hand fly that last bit in. Transition altitude on the way in. What is it? 1011. We'll go for, oh, it's, there we go. Transition level 140 is on the charts as well, prescribed, so that can stay as it is. And the runway length. Ooh, Navigraph spinning wheel. How interesting. Right, there we go. That should be back now. But that was a really interesting. Just let me know if I am, by the way. I don't know what happened there. The old internet went down, I think, momentarily. Yeah, what was strange then is with MSFS2024, and I've never had that. It was more of an internet problem more than anything else. What the sim did was it basically paused the entire thing, and we went into like a holding menu, and it said your session has been paused. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 requires a continuous internet connection. Your service will, when your service resumes or something like that, then you will be able to kind of reconnect and continue with your session. So the sim then stopped me continuing the flight offline, if that makes sense, which is really weird. And now I've got, I don't know if you can see that, this kind of weird little like dash line. Which is a bit weird. So we kind of like zoomed out of a menu like that, and then it was very specific then. Okay, that seems to have solved that. Yeah, very weird. But yeah, basically if you lose internet in MSFS 2024, your simulator then completely stops. That's wild. Surely it should still allow you to fly in the area that you've just gone flying around. So you know, stream the data around me now in Japan, for example. Surely it should allow you to continue to fly in that little area, because you've just downloaded it, right? That's just ridiculous. Yeah, or revert to like MSFS 2020, as Zato says. You know, disable the photogrammetry and the weather, and that's it. But no, it binned me out and said no, you can't. Very strange. I'm not too happy with that though, because that means if you've, for example, got a bit of an unstable internet connection where you live, and thankfully, touch wood, I don't. But if you did, then you can't really have a smooth sim experience, right? Maybe that's something that needs to be pushed. Anyway, hopefully you saw us all we set this up, didn't we? So that's already done. We've had a little look. We're now in the descent phase, because when I unpaused, it zoomed all the way through to the top of descent, weirdly. So it was like an active pause, where we were still flying. And for some reason, I need to refresh that because it's not picking up my transponder. That should be cleared now though. Surveillance. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Right, now my mode Charlie's back on. Very strange. Oh, brake to vacate. So we want Tango 3. Set plan. Linskas is flying British Airways Heathrow to Haneda in July. No idea what to expect from the 350. Hopefully smooth and comfy. Oh, it will be superb. Let's see, what was it? Tango 3, wasn't it? So we can collect that. Set brake to vacate exits after the wet line. Happy days. So that's good. Brake to vacate is then prepped. And that also means we've effectively preloaded the airfield as well. Nav aids. Trouble 1, 7 IOW, inbound course 03, that's good. So it looks like we're nicely prepared for the approach. And we will aim for a continuous descent all the way down to 2000. We'll just keep going. And we'll leave it to see how the process works as well. PC just froze to Badger. Oh no. The whole computer or just the sim? Tracy does, it needs to have a constant internet connection. That's pretty bad, right? You would think there would be a fallback so that you didn't just end up with a really badly interrupted session. But yeah, as Jess says, better have it happen now than on short final. Initially it was just Navigraph, but then the entire thing went off. What we could probably do now as well is ooh, brake to vacate is not active. Brake to vacate. Weirdly, it's like that didn't kind of quite set for some reason, but all good. Right, where are we at? Starting to come in range. Quick check of E-pilots. We've got no air traffic control, that's fine. And what was the altimeter setting that we had a minute ago? Sorry about that internet connection interruption, folks. 1011 for the standby instrument there. Thank you for bearing with us while we sorted that thing out. So we've got standbys done. Brake to vacate is set and armed. This continues to set down to 2000. Radios are set and checked. Car brakes off. That's good, and we've got loads of fuel. Let's go for a descent announcement. Did someone say no ADC? They did indeed. Look at that, I mean, that blended wingtip is just superb, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are making our final approach. Please fasten your seatbelt down securely in Britannia's seat
If you are new to the channel, don't forget to press that subscribe button down below. And if you have enjoyed today's live stream, give us a little thumbs up as well.
We will be finishing our
That way I can assess what content is liked more than others and kind of try and give you guys more of that as well. Oh, actually, I suppose that's right, isn't it, there? Don't forget that everything is streamed in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, though. Not just satellite imagery and weather that was with 2020. There isn't a base download of the world in 2024. So yeah, no connection, no stream, no world. Wild. Imagine being on final approach. You stream the airport, the internet drops off, and then the whole airport in front of you disappears. You'd be livid. But at least, you know, that was my end, not Asobo's end or Microsoft's end. It wasn't a server problem, it was my internet being rubbish. God damn it, Sky. Our first constraint on the descent at or above flight level 110, well actually 14,000 or 11,000 at Hassa, because we will be on standard on local pressure imminently. It sounds like Zato's going to prepare for a fly past in the Vulcan. It throws your flow out a little bit, Jack, that's for sure. Because we were in the middle of kind of descent prep then, and all of a sudden we load back in, and all of a sudden we're at top of descent, and I've not quite got myself ready, so like I've forgotten brake to vacate until we started to run that stuff in our head again just now. But it's all good. I suppose these are the compromises that we have in the newer simulator. Better graphics, better immersive world, better weather, better flight dynamics, all the rest of it, but a slightly more unstable system by means of streaming all the data. Local pressure 1011. We'll get another refresh of the METAR. All the nines, few clouds 1,100 feet, broken 23,000 and overcast at 24,000 feet. Temperature 22, dew point 21, so there's only a 1 degree spread, so we could probably expect some decreasing visibility in the next hour or so. And QNH 1011 or altimeter 2988. Yeah, to be fair, it would be 2988 in real money here in Japan, so we shall use that. And we've got JJP 1427 ahead. It's going into a wee bit of cloud. 1228, that's all set. Just going to recall any warnings, and we're all good. And we shall get no mobile phones switched on as well. That's Hassa through 11. What's it going to do here? Bam. Weirdly enough, we're not levelling off to reduce speed. So I'm going to have to intervene here, otherwise we're going to get absolutely destroyed by New Sky for overspeeding. 320 knots through 10,000, crikey. Bit weird it's done that. Speed brakes as deployed as it'll be, through into the cloud. I'm going to set 240. That's better. That's taken 1,000 feet to rectify that. We'll just monitor this, see how we get on. 1800 foot per minute, see if we level off there. We might start to accelerate. If we do, we'll drop it back a tad. Just keep an eye on that speed bug there. Doesn't show us increasing speed. Well, Jack, we were descending on, well, it should be managed descent, but it didn't seem to be having any managed mode, so I think it was just reverting to open descent, to be fair. Interestingly enough. Speed limit exceeded, thank you. That was your fault, aeroplane. What we got? 10, 15, 20, 30 miles. Let's just get that ready to go, and we will go landing lights, nose lights, all that gum. .1200 foot per minute. Right, we have to bring that speed down now. Let's go to 220. Naha traffic, Japan Air 901, heavy A350 900 inbound, altimeter 2988 expecting. ILS Zulu, runway 36 left, currently inbound Cypher, transition Ihaya south, Naha traffic. Need to use a little bit of speed brake to get us down here, get us a bit slippy. 1600, we'll maintain that, and we'll go down towards our green dot speeds. Afternoon, Jenko! Okay, I've got 10 miles on them. Oh no, I've got 5 miles on them. So actually, we'll start to bring our speed down early to 200. Gives them time. Very good, Jenko. Thanks. How are you, mate? Happy Easter. Max 210 knots at Bliss for final approach. Let's get rid of music. There's the overcast kind of cloud. Well, it's a bit lower than it said on the METAR, but that's okay. Clearer skies above. Right, final checks. Landing lights and signs. Anti-ice as required. Outside air temperature is pretty high at the moment. Look, TAT 25, SAT 18. I'm going to have to start really slowing down final approach speed shortly, I think. Speed checked, flaps 1. That means I can get rid of the speed brake as we increase drag. And boost down to 1,300 in a moment. I'll set 1.5 and 180. We're kind of back on that VNAV profile now. There's the aircraft in front. We're visual with him. If we can maintain that, that would be great. In fact, we will go down to 170 knots just for good measure here. And flap 2.
2,500.
Check. LS. What's his speed? It's like I'm catching right up with him. Let's go gear down now. Naha traffic, Japan Air 9001 heavies, turning final 8 miles, ILS 36 left, reducing to final approach speed number 2, Naha. Let's get all the flaps out, get ahead of it. Looks like he's going for 36 right actually. Approach mode activated.
Naha traffic X-ray Hotel 558 overhead Naha Airport, expecting a visual for runway 36 left.
Full flap. Spoilers arms, waiting for cabin secure, 160 until sort of a few DME and into this horrible bit of cloud. Yeah, he's definitely on 36 right, so that's okay. Tracy, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend. 1500, we'll hold at that. And turn left, climb to 1,200 feet outbound. Naha VOR, radial 308 to 8.5, climb to 2,000 outbound Naha VOR 308 to 15 DME. By the 15 DME arc, counterclockwise, fly Olval and hold, cross 12 DME at or above 1,400, contact Naha approach. That's a lot of information. Let's set 2,000, that's easier. 4 miles. Cabin crew seats for landing. Look at this for a view, folks. What a superb aeroplane as well, just stunning. This is my all-time favourite in the skies by a long shot at the moment, in real life, but also now in the simulator. It's just looks stunning, doesn't it? Landing inhibit. Cabin is not ready blue, not ready green, but it pretty much is. We'll just say it's ready. There it is, cabin secure. The links for this scenery is in the description as well, folks. Autopilot off, my controls. Crosswind left to right, 6 knots.
400. 300. Two hundred. 100.
Looking ahead.
90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40. 20.
Expecting a flight
10, 5.
Can it kick it into the centre line? Probably a bit firmer the nose wheel coming down there. Reverse green, brake to vacate green as well. And we'll bring her in. Tango 3 is on the active line. 360 knots. Let's get rid of the reversers. Brake to vacate is deactivated. Zato, are you coming in for a missed approach now in the Vulcan? You'll have to let us know so I don't miss you. And also let me know what runway.
Naha traffic, Hotel 558, runway 26 right, visual flight path.
MK Studios Naha is a lovely airport scenery. Look at those airport edge lights, the runway edge lights there, really cool. Okay, auto brake disarmed, flaps 0. It's a random kind of after landing announcement that we've set in the EFB for the demonstration. Did they fix the oscillation just before landing? Oscar asks. It's a very good question, buddy. I'm not entirely sure, if I be honest. I'm not entirely sure. Naha traffic, Japan Air 901 has vacated at 36 left. Taxi Juliet 1 to hold Whiskey 3 Charlie short of 36 right. I don't know if Zato is short final or not. Well, I'm trying to make a little bit of progress because he said 36 right, didn't he? Let me just come to a stop here. I feel like he's closer. Let me just reset the old drone camera. Get some better speed going. And we try and spot him. He's in the Avro Volca. Are you joking? We've just missed you. Seriously? You're going to have to come in for another run then, Zato. You joking? You do another run. Are you coming in via 16?
Traffic extra hotel 558. We're going to make another pass turning on a left downwind. Expecting a visual for the runway 26 right.
36 right. Right. Are you at the right airport? Let's get to the airport, the whole point for the runway. No, we can't miss in that way. My goodness. I'm so terrible at catching you. Doesn't help if Alantima's a bit outdated. It still shows you on short final. RC Las Vegas, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing, mate. If you are in Vegas, good morning to you. Ah, all day down there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Naha traffic, Japan Air 901 Heavy is holding short, 36 right at Whiskey 3 Charlie.
Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Please take care when you open the overhead compartment, as items may slip out.
It needs more than a back brace, Jack. It needs extricating from the seat.
And please refrain from talking on the phone, since it may bother your neighbors. And please check the
Let's go to the old park break.
Make sure you leave nothing behind, especially cell phones and electronic devices. And your crew would like to thank you for flying with Japan Airlines and American Airlines and Mauritius Airlines, members of the Long-Haul Alliance on this courtesy flight. We are very sincere, hope that you are satisfied with your service today, and you will see Japan Airlines again in the near future.
Oh yeah, look at that, we've got one in there. I think that's that was two bits of traffic. Is that actually over Fuda Cloud?
Ladies and gentlemen, today your exit will be the second door from the forward on your left hand side. Thank you.
That's him. LODs drop out so quick.
7.5 left.
Approaching 36 right now, Zato says. This is where we find out that the Vulcan just hasn't been loaded in at all and you're invisible. I thought that was you, but there's a dot on the screen. Touchdown for the All Nippon. $3 miles. It is showing you as a Vulcan. Please! Should be over the runway now. We can't see him.
Traffic, Japan Air 251, 4 miles out, 36 left.
After all of that, Zato, it's not even rendered the Vulcan in. It says that you're displayed as that. Oh, no way. So basically, after all of that, Zato, it didn't work. Ah, it's gutting, isn't it? Bloody heck. Yeah, that would have been epic. Oh well. Literally ghost plane. Naha traffic, Japan Air 901 is crossing 36 rights. Whiskey 3 Charlie.
Naha traffic up to 2472, 4.7 nautical miles, runway 36 right, established on the island, local. Naha traffic.
He's not on screen on X-plane either, but what it says, interesting.
On a right downwind, expecting full stop landing, runway 36 right.
Naha traffic, Japan Air 901 has vacated 36 right, taxiing Charlie 2, stand 22. Strobes off, landing lights, from return off lights, all that gumph. Taxi lights are off, no pews, starting.
5 mile final, runway 36 left.
That's all good, trim, let's reset. That's on 00, ground spoilers. There's the Mike 1 spot, and our stand is here. Done the after landing announcement, which was very long. 2-2. Off. You know what I forgot as well? Surveillance. And nice and wide. There's the orange line. Oh, too heavy on the brakes. APU's available. Let's get it bleeding. Let's get it bleeding. Like that's an aggressive, weird way of getting all that sorted out. Let's go into alignment there for the stop. What do we got? No VDGS, very sad.
Now traffic differential 558, turning base for a full stop landing, runway 26, correction 36 right, we will call turning final.
that? How far? Jesus, it's close.
Naha traffic.
Brakes.
15 now to runway 36 right.
Engines 2 and
left
1. Little monorail there, just gone zoop past us. We'll have a look at that. Okay, cheers mate, thank you for that.
Now traffic at Travel
Not too far to the right.
Final official runway 36 right, we'll call final.
Deboarding requested. Beacon off. And we go to ground.
Naha traffic at 3472 exited runway 36 right.
Chocks.
To the gate via Echo 4 Alpha 3.
GPU.
Naha traffic.
That's all set. External 2, external 1. And while we wait, let's just get out of here. He's still trying to park us for some reason. Everyone's coming in. There's Ashley, there's some of the Ospreys. There's a One World JAL aircraft over there. Jetstar Japan below us. We're going doors 2 for disembarkation. And the internals of this MK Studios Naha, quite pleasant. Right, let's see how we're getting on.
Traffic at 558, final runway 36 right.
I don't think it's loaded him in. Let's get New Sky up. And we shall just close the flight and see how well we've done. I wonder if it's penalised us for any of the pausing and things. Oh, it didn't give me a... There we go, 10. There we go, lovely. $27,500. Great touchdown at 1.23 G and 245 foot per minute. Happy with that. And actually, for what it's worth, those control sensitivities that we set recently for the CRJ, that minus 0.8, I've actually left them in today. For those of you who remember the last stream. Flyman, hello! Greetings from Japan, all Nippon 478. Sorry for interrupting your crossing runway, he says. Ah, mate, don't worry. It's all the more immersive. Hope you have a great flight. Thank you for tuning in. It was a good takeoff by the sounds of it. I think he's entirely invisible, isn't he? Yeah, because he should be touching down. Zato's over the threshold. Yeah, look. I've got nothing. I reckon, because I haven't got a Vulcan loaded in, it's not really showing up as anything. There's the little train. Well, it's become 2 frames per second. It's a really nice airport scenery, this is. How are we doing? I got one more coming in over there as well. Is that Carlito? Where's Carlito? Because he's flying along as well, isn't he? Yes, so he's close. He's coming up onto final. Carlito, are you using 36 right or 36 left?
And traffic at 558, clear of runway 36 right.
Just now, because we moved away from the aeroplane, look, the jetty has now kind of moved itself away from the aeroplane, which is rather strange. Don't know why it's done that, but it has. And none of my aircraft seem to have any wheels anymore. We flew into it when it got first released, Ashley. So actually, that's all AIG. All the AIG models don't have wheels. All the FSLTL ones do. We do have next time, Zato, yeah. I'm frustrated that hasn't worked. I might have to load into the Vulcan. Maybe there's something in the config file. I don't know. We're going to wait for Carlito. Carlito should be coming in soon. It's also the Japan Defense Force airport as well, here at Naha. Which I think... yeah, that might be what all of that is for. Maritime patrol. Because they're not supposed to have an attacking military. It's a defense force only by via a US agreement that's in place or something like that off the top of my head. Not that Trump understands that, but hey ho. Most of the AIG stuff, MPS Gaming, I think is still based on X-Plane. FSX. Which is wild, isn't it, really, when you think about it? That's it, Jeff. The Constitution was written by the US, wasn't it? From what I understand, from what I've read into. But effectively, Japan now have increased their military spending quite significantly, and they're going to have to probably rewrite elements of their constitution. Here comes Carlito. I think, Jack, the problem with AIG is they've, in all likelihood, and sort of maybe being slightly cynical, I reckon they've noticed. Yeah, we can maybe test in advance next time, Zato. I reckon the AIG have seen that FSLTL is integrated quite nicely with the newer SIM, and they've kind of panicked because they didn't have any compatibility on release with 2024, and even 6 months later we've only just started as a beta to start to support MSFS 2024. So part of me thinks it's a bit of a rush. Neil Epic flying Okinawa to Haneda on a JAL A350-900 in October. Awesome. How are you getting to Okinawa? Oh, you're going to stay in this hotel. Let's go and see where Neil's going to be staying. Fukuoka to Okinawa on a JAL 738. Nice. So you're doing like a big tour of Japan then, right? You're flying in, you're doing Heathrow to Haneda, Haneda to Fukuoka, or are you taking like the Shinkansen bullet trains to get around Japan initially? Try and spot Carlito and then chase him down the runway. There he is, got him. That's a bingo. 10 flights in 21 days. My goodness, Neil. You're earning too much money. Oh, no, you're so bloody lucky. If you get a chance, Neil, go to the cup noodle factory in Yokohama. You'll be able to build your own cup noodle. Here comes our last pilot in the A330. Oh, it's an FSLTL model without landing gear. Maybe it's the other way around. No, it can't be. Might just be an issue with that one. Nice. See where his wheels are meant to be. There he is. And look at that for a backdrop as well. Loads of Osprey tails, Japan Airlines, All Nippon Airways. Looking good. There's a really superb scenery in a very remote part of the world, really, but I can highly recommend it. There's a lot of very nice touches, and we checked it out properly when it first got released. There's like a train system that goes off into the bay over there, and bridges and all sorts. So it looks really good at night time as well. So if I just slide the time forwards a wee bit. You get some really cool night lighting here as well. There we go. I'll leave you guys with a little pan over Naha. The links are in the description down below if you want to get your hands on any of the scenery that we've checked out today. Well, I say any. The first one was the default airport. The iniBuilds A350 is linked, and this MK Studios Naha linked as well via Contrail, plus the Contrail discount code. If you've never used that before, you get special access where you get use of that code. Each person can use it once, which is pretty cool. Massive thank you to Jack for that huge tip earlier on. Mega generous as always. Appreciate all the support from all of you watching wherever you are in the world. I hope you have a very happy Easter. Thank you to everyone who flew along, and keep an eye on the channel over the next few days. I potentially might be able to stream tomorrow, but I might not. It all depends on whether or not a few ducks get lined, and failing that I might work on a bit of content regardless. But one way or another, hopefully we'll get either a bit of content or a video ready for the week. And then next week, Cross the Pond is happening. I don't have a slot, but I'm in the controller lottery to hopefully be the ground controller, maybe at Manchester or somewhere. Failing that, I've got a backup plan, which I probably need a few days to work out, and it all depends on release timings for obviously a certain aircraft that we don't know is going to be released yet. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit like before you head off, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button too if you're new to the channel and you've maybe not done so already. But thank you, and have a great rest of the Easter weekend. See you later. Take care.